very much. Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here. I just heard some cattle over there. It's okay. I'm excited. I'm just a little paranoid tonight. I haven't performed in a couple of months, and yet, hey, I'm paranoid about everything in my life. Even at home, on my stationary bike, I have a rear view mirror, which I'm not thrilled about. And sadly, my last shrink, she retired about a week ago. I'm freaked out, and it was sort of a nightmare. She was only 24. I guess I burned her out real fast, and the last session was unbelievable. She set herself on fire. She ran out of the session going, "No mas, no mas," you know. So what do? I'm on the road. I'm a comic. You know, you go to these clinics, all these rip-off clinics now. I was in Dallas. I had this therapy amusement park, Six Flags over Bellevue, you know, and I use those phone services, 1-900-YOU-WACKO, which is a big thing now. But hey, what's my problem? What's your problem? For me, I have bad posture. I have low self-esteem. I'm unhappy about it. I could blame my parents. I want to blame my parents for practically everything. Look, after high school, I said, what should I do? I have no idea what I should do. And they went, well, we think you should run away with the circus. And that wasn't good for me. But hey, don't I have to take responsibility for my own life? I think it's about time. I'm 40 years old, and I just, but still, I screwed myself up. Elementary school, during student government week, I was a coroner for a day, which wasn't a big thing, you know. Then, freshman basketball, I was the throw in the towel boy, which was sort of humiliating. And even like a week ago, I'm in bed. This woman, I was so looking forward to this sexually, and well, I'm screwed up. She says, don't you want to have an orgasm? And I said, what's in it for me? You know, so. And yet, what's in it for anybody now? You know, the climate is so obnoxious now. It's frightening. I saw a thing on Oprah yesterday, or Donnie, or whatever the show it was. I don't even know anymore, but they had this segment, Waffles, New Social Disease, or Still Favorite Family Breakfast. You know, it's confusing. And I'm a hypochondriac. I'm susceptible to everything known to man. And my doctor called me yesterday, and he went, absolutely no phone sex. Okay, you know, and although phone sex is a nightmare for me, I'm in my hotel room in Oklahoma City there. I'm wailing away. I always have this paranoia that the woman's like, in a kitchen making a beef goulash while I'm on the phone, you know. And I never have an orgasm healthily. I mean, I usually I just do impressions of other men enjoying themselves, which is sad. The best one the last 3 years, I do Gleason. Oh, that's good. That was... Then I started getting angry. You got to get in touch with your anger, and I started getting, hey, man, I was pissed off. She didn't love me anymore, and I started running out of terms of endearment. It was sad. I called her breasts Mutt and Jeff, which was sad, A couple of Amish friends came over for an erection raising in my house. I was having a lot of problems. I blame it on Lorne Greene's documentary I watched growing up. I watched parakeets make love, and they never face each other, really, when they screw. And I didn't get laid till I was 38. I had no idea what was going on. And, and my ex wasn't worth it, man. I don't know. She cheated. This is the bottom line. You got to get out. She cheated, and she didn't even care. She made the worst lies in history. 4 a.m, she'd come into the bedroom. It was like a nightmare. She had like a champagne bottle with her, I said, where were you? She went, I was seal hunting. And she slept around, I know, because the first night we were in bed, just before we made love, she went, gentlemen, start your engines, which was, And then when she had her orgasm, she said, king me, which, I got to go. I'm just thrilled to be here. Please donate as much as you can. And, I'll be here whenever I can.
All right, everybody, we're back. My next guest is a comedian and an actor. He's also a regular on the HBO series Curb Your Enthusiasm. Please welcome the Prince of Pain, Richard Lewis. So nice of you to be here.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Mazel tov.
What did you just say?
Mazel tov.
Hold on one second. What does Mazel Tov mean?
Yeah.
No, it's thank you.
Something my people
it means
say.
Congratulations.
Oh, good.
Your people say?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I got confused.
No. And anyway, boy, to be on the show with this guy.
Benicio del Toro is an amazing
I mean,
actor.
this cat's like in the brand, but I would have killed to be in he's class clown. If he was the class clown, I just can't even imagine. I'm going to blow that clown face up, and I'm going to shoot him up with heroin. Then I'm going to have him swallow razor blades. What kind of act could he have had? I mean, really. It couldn't
have been that. It would have been strange.
I mean, come on. How intense is this? I mean, this guy is the most intense cat. You know, I was thinking about him when I was watching him. You know, there's so many he's one of the great actors of his generation.
Yes.
And that movie he did was the three of those. What a cast. But you think of guys like Brando. No, it's true.
I know, but I love that you switch. Your conversational style is very interesting. It's just, you start a sentence and then switch to the next one. It's like you're dropping down parking garage levels, one after the other. It's fascinating.
No. By the way, if you don't understand me, I will fax my intentions to each and every one of you tomorrow. But I was thinking of guys like...
We're getting faxes already.
I was thinking of guys like Brando, guys who didn't make it.
Yes.
Brando didn't make it.
Right.
Or got a couple of gigs like... was the Beeves' father. I mean, that could have been a nightmare. Like, don't let Eddie Haskell use the Buick. I mean, that could have been a nightmare.
He might have been a great dad. He would have been a good...
Yeah, but he wouldn't have done Last Tango, you know what I mean? But this cat, but he's done the movie, so it's all great, and it's good to see you.
And you said congratulations up front, and congratulations to you, because this is a great thing, 10 years of sobriety for you. Is that right?
Almost, yeah.
Almost 10. This is a good thing. You were honest about this. You went through some rough times, didn't you?
I went through, look, I'm still a basket case. I'm a sober basket. I'm not quite 10, to be honest with you. It's a day at a time, but today I had my teeth cleaned, which I usually get about 300 times a week.
Right.
Because I need nitrous. It's legal. And I tell the dentist, look, here's an extra 50. Look, he's a showbiz guy.
Right.
I go, crank the nitrous as close to brain damage as you possibly can.
Right.
I'm still a I have a girlfriend, but I'm still a sex addict, and that's a problem. That's been a problem.
Well, this is a 6-year relationship you're in.
Yes, and I've been monogamous, and although I haven't seen her in 5 years, I have been loyal. No, I love her. I love her, but the bottom line is, I still, even though I stopped drinking was killing me.
Right.
But I still love women, and I still have to, really be careful. I remember my shrink telling me, even when I was sober, she says, you got to be intimate, man. You're not, you don't drink anymore. And I'll know, I know you get a little queasy about this stuff, and I apologize, but it's true. It's true. I said, I don't know what intimacy means. I don't know. So she says, you got to fondle your lover. So, actually, this is what...
That doesn't make me queasy. What's...
No.
What am I, the boy in the bubble all of a sudden?
No, I haven't gotten to the place.
Follow your lover. I'm fine with that.
This is when I was doing drugs. So, we were, she fell asleep.
Right.
And I was naked. And I was playing with myself. Can I just say self?
Yeah. I'm still with you 100%.
All right, well, wait. You're gonna.
When's the point where I explode?
All right, here. You know the little hole in the tip of your penis?
Oh my God! You think? What the hell?
I don't know what it's called.
Why do I goad him to go further? I don't know what...
I'm trying to share.
There's probably a medical term for that.
Yes, the Aretha Franklin. I don't know what it's called. So I was playing.
The Aretha Franklin.
I was playing with it. She was asleep. She was stoned.
What are you playing with? Just that part? Why would you focus so much? There's other parts around it. I could imagine your hand hitting that. But why are you just... You have a surgical instrument? What are you doing?
Conan, she was sleeping.
She was... All right.
And I had it dyslexic. The shrink said, have foreplay with her, not with you.
Right,
But she was asleep. What am I going to do? I wasn't doing anything, provocative, but the 3 tenors were big then, back in the late 80s.
Yeah.
So I was doing...
Where the hell is this going?
Well, I was doing... I'm going to tell you.
All right, okay.
What do you want me to do, send you a letter before I get it?
I'd like to read it, yeah.
All right, I will next time.
So anyway,
I sang O Solo Mio.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm telling you. And even my balls were applauding like cheers.
All right, well, what are you doing?
Well, I woke... So I woke her up, and I did O Solo Mio, and know what she said?
What?
Nothing. She left. I never saw her again for the rest of my life. And that's
what are you talking about? What, you're surprised by that?
No, I'm not, but I'm addicted to I'm an affection junk. I'm also, you did great political stuff.
Wait, that's not affection, what you were talking about there. How is that affection?
Well,
I woke up my girlfriend, I'm holding the hole that goes into the... you know what's are clapping, and suddenly that's a show of...
Look.
That's like a Hallmark card to you? What is that?
All right, you're right.
I'm always right.
I know, you have to be. Now listen, I'll do this in 3 seconds, but it is a political year, and you did a great political riff. I'm a Democrat. I'm sorry, and I'll tell you right now. I have to just say this.
Yes.
I love the soldiers. They're the greatest people. They give their lives and everything else.
Yes, yes.
But I don't like the cloak of patriotism that sort of undermines all of the domestic stuff. I don't like that personally. Okay, I don't know who I'm voting for. I mean, anyway, the long story short is. I've done a lot of interviews today, so if I repeated this, I apologize to you because I love you. But the bottom line is, if Hillary can write, it takes a village, this guy can write, it takes a village idiot, as far as I'm concerned. Because he doesn't know, he doesn't read, he's reading Cat in the Hat right now on audio tape.
Who can say?
Well, I want you to know, I'm a Democrat.
I believe.
Well, come on, I don't care who you vote. I'm a Democrat. I don't care who you vote. You can be an independent.
I'm voting for Aretha Franklin now. That's my vote.
Anyway, but life is good. Life is really good for me. I mean, even though, you know, I feel that my hair looks a little bit like Boris Karloff's tennis pro. I'm not, you know.
Well, I want to ask you about something.
Yeah, sure.
You're on this show, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, I forgot to tell you something. Oh, Curb.
Oh, you're on.
Oh, we're done already.
No, we're not. I'm not plugging you. I'm saying.
No, I wanted to tell you, you asked me a question about the drugs, and I remember I crashed my car 1,000 times, and I couldn't get a new one. And finally, when I crashed it, luckily I didn't kill anybody, I called the insurance guy. This is true. I said, it's over. I'm getting rid of this car. Because it's one of those foreign cars where all the lights went on. If there was a problem, like a guy hanging himself, I had to look at the manual, and it said, you need oil. I had no idea what I was driving.
Right.
So I said, the car's demolished. I want a new car. And he said, oh, no. And I went to the gas station. They had the visor on a lift, and they said, we're building the car around the visor. So it took 25 years to build this car. So, you know, drugs was bad for me. So now I'm over that, you know. And but yeah, Curb is Larry
Curb,
David.
why do everyone have to shorten the name of their show to be cool? Why can't you say, yeah, I'm on Curb Your Enthusiasm? No, it's got to be, yeah, I'm on Curb.
You want to know why?
I'm on
He just held up a sign, you're off in 2 seconds, Jew boy. How about that?
Is that what it says?
No,
it does.
I'm a comic, it's a joke.
I knew that. I was playing with you and you were playing with me. We were in the zone.
That's why we need counseling. Don't you understand it?
You know, the last time you were on the show, you were on our claymation show.
Yeah, by the way, you know how relatives, they look at you and they can't see you.
Right.
They just can't see you. They don't, I mean, I don't know how your family, but they don't really understand you. They criticize. You gave me a look that was unbelievable.
I was just checking out your shirt for a second. You're dressed like an alien.
I don't have a shirt.
I just realized that.
No,
this thing is very. I just noticed
this
that for the first time.
I know it's about 40 years out of date, but Lenny
40
Bruce,
years in the future. You look like you're here to take humans back to your planet.
Lenny Bruce got.
You will come with me now to Assorted.
No, Lenny Bruce got busted in it. No, but oh yeah, I lost my thread of thought. I've never lost the thread ever.
That's not true.
Huh?
That's not true.
I forgot what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. I just, you know, we're done anyway, so what's the difference, you know?
That's right. The Jew boy sign is up. Look at that. This is alien shoes you're wearing.
No, this comes with, I don't have to go to...
Thanks for being here, Quang.
No, I don't have to go to a podiatrist.
Look at that. That's insanity.
No, I went to
What is that?
No, I don't have to go to a podiatrist if I get a thing. It's medicated, so I don't have...
What, there's medicated pads in there?
Yeah, they're all medicated, so if I don't have to go to a podiatrist, it just takes away the thing, and I just slice it off, and I never have to go to a doctor again with my feet.
If that made sense to anyone, call in. Curb Your Enthusiasm airs Sunday nights at 9:30 on HBO. Richard Lewis, everybody. We'll take a break. Maroon 5. Man, we went so long. Everybody, we're back. My next guests are here with a song from their album Songs About Jane. Please welcome Maroon 5. Great job. Hey, that was great. Thank you very much. Very sweet. Maroon 5, everybody, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Stick around. Hey, thank you. All right, everybody, that's our show. I do want to thank all my guests. Richard Lewis, big thanks to Richard for being here. Richard's going to be, he's out on the road. He's going to be in Chicago, Milwaukee. He's going to be in Miami and Atlanta, so go see Richard. I also want to thank Benicio del Toro for being here. Big thanks to Maroon 5 for being on the show. Max Weinberg, 17. Let's go! Carson Daly, bye.
I can't even read it. You ever go to an eye test now?
No,
the first line, then the second line.
You know him from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
That I can read, but the fifth line is like a sperm. You can't read that on a...
Do not cuss on this show, Richard.
Oh, pardon me. I was going to do a penis hunk, and now I...
Yeah. Anyway, please welcome my first guest, Richard Lewis, everybody.
Thank you.
See?
Oh, what?
See, that's better.
Get rid of that.
Yeah, that's better. What it does is it gets it out of the way. You've been here while that was here.
Please, I haven't had an erection since I seen it. Now get it away. Now, listen, I'm sorry about your back.
It's sore. It's
you know
painful.
what? It is.
Yeah.
Well, I have two bad discs. Like, they show it to you.
Too bad what?
Disc. One's in the
disc.
shape of a neo-Nazi, which is a bad thing.
Really?
Well, it looks that way. I don't know what it is. They say it's L lumbar. I don't give a... All I care about is fix me. But we're both... Listen, he brought me out here. You brought me out here because, we're both recovered drug addicts for almost the same time.
Really?
You didn't know that?
Of course I know that.
I read your book. I have to keep calling you. I'm a drug addict.
Yeah,
and I hang up. That's me.
I know.
But if you go to a doctor and you can't get out of bed, you're taking ibuprofen.
Right.
In Beverly Hills, I go to hotels and go over, whatever I'm doing, and you see...
Bucket. No, slow it down. Let's just break it down a little. What do you mean you go to a hotel and you go over whatever I'm doing? What do you mean whatever I'm doing?
I'm married. It's not like it's a hook. I was never... Are you suggesting hookers?
If you want, it's Friday night.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with hookers or affairs.
As long as it's American hookers.
Yeah, that's true. But I've never had a hooker, and I'm married now, and if I blow this, I'm screwed, no, I'm not kidding. I did damage. I had a 30-year. How long was your blackout?
Ooh, 15 years.
16 years.
Oh.
Okay, so I forgot your 15th year.
Yeah.
No, but it's, I met a woman at an airport. Where were we? Hotels?
Yeah, but bars. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure because I was in fact in a blackout. So yeah.
I met a woman in New York at an airport. Okay, my girlfriend for 6 months, and she knew everything about me. How you been? She's married, had about 3 kids. She was my girlfriend. I had no clue. Ooh. So then I was trying to grill her, like a DA. Yeah, what's in my bedroom? She knew every book, where everything. So I went, oh my God.
So you have a 6 months relationship you don't even remember?
No, it really upsets me, and this is sexist. And I love women. I think men are mostly pigs. You talk about the animals, men. Most animals are pigs.
No, but there's a lot different. There's the badgers. You got swans.
No, I know.
Giraffes.
No,
only pigs are pigs.
No,
you got birds. You got kangaroos. Yeah. You got antelopes there. You got fish.
No, if you see a baboon's wife give birth, not a wife, what do you call a wife?
A baboon's wife? Mrs. Baboon, I guess.
Yeah, so you don't know either, right?
A baboonarella. I don't know.
Can you imagine?
Fruzzi.
A husband with an ass that swings like a pendulum like that, you have to really be in love.
Well, no, you got to remember, for lady baboons, the pendulum swinging ass is kind of like hot. That's like a six-pack abs to a lady baboon.
Yeah, okay. Where was I? Nowhere. That's a good place to start.
You met the woman in the airport, and
the blackout. Yeah, I know, but there was some other place to go. But I don't know. I never know where to go, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where to go.
Well,
sex. Because I was drugged out of my mind. I didn't know who I was with. I didn't know if it was who they were, what their name was. It was embarrassing. Well, and my wife now, Joyce, who I love, okay?
Right, yes.
I forget her name, and it could be a little...
Whoa, man.
Well,
yeah. Look, there's certain things you can overshare, Richard, is what I'm saying. You can overshare.
I like to share everything. You're sick as your secrets, someone once told me, and I feel that way.
Right.
And I don't have that many dark secrets, okay? But my wife, I don't think I have, my, short-term memory loss. But when you forget your wife's name, hi, this is Shram, So... And I went to see. Oh, this is fun.
You should get her name tattooed on a part of your body. So
I
it's
do.
Like, baby, I got a tattoo, and then every time you go,
this is my wife. This is my wife. I like you to meet Joyce. Yeah, that's cool. No, but dig this. I was doing some gigs, and I'm finally slowing down. I'm doing this thing for near Seattle, a casino for World Vision. It's a charity this Thursday night. So if you're near Seattle,
what is it? Well, let's plug it properly. It's a casino.
It's a
near
casino,
Seattle.
It
could be any one of 1,000 casinos.
You want to know something? When you play, and I love this casino,
right?
And I'm not this casino, and I'm glad
you've forgotten the name of the damn casino. Uh-oh.
No.
Get on the internet and find out what casino he's played.
I played everywhere.
Right.
But this is a charity gig. So Thursday night. So if you're in Seattle, but you're not.
No, unfortunately not.
Every time I say where I play, you go, yeah, I've been there. You mock everything I do.
I do not mock you.
You mock everything I do.
How dare you say I mock you?
He's going to be at that theater. Good luck. He's going to get the crabs. You do stuff like that.
I do not. Wait, you're mistaking me clearly for someone else.
Listen to this.
Well,
dig this.
You know you and I had a relationship for 6 months.
Beverly Hills, the hotel. The hotel.
Oh, yeah, the hotel.
Dig this, man.
Yeah, you're in the hotel doing your thing.
If a doctor, we're both addicts, so if a doctor prescribes you, if you can't get out of bed, you should take it. You got to, I give my wife, you only give me, don't show me where the thing is, or I'll go, yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
So my wife covers that, but when I sit around these hotel lobbies, whatever, I'm going over stuff, whatever.
Wait, I've got to stop you again.
It's not a hook. Why?
All right, you're sitting around the hotel lobby going over some stuff.
I know it sounds like
Rocky Dinga.
But it's true.
All right. So you're going over your stuff.
What do you put on your mouth when I watch you? What do you put, the flag of Scotland or something?
No, it's various countries throughout the world. It's in the spirit of international cooperation through custom.
I was going to say that very same sentence.
Oh, there you are.
So dig this. So I'm in a hotel, and so they have these Beverly Hills doctors.
Right.
And all the big stars are staying in the bungalows. So I've heard this. What's wrong? Oh, I can't mention the name. I'll be sued.
Right.
I have the sniffle.
Crikey.
The person had the sniffles.
Sniffles.
This is Beverly Hills.
Is that a medical condition, the sniffles?
Well, dig. This is what happens because we're addicts. We can't do this.
Right.
But sniffles, if I wasn't an addict, well, I was for 20, 30...
Yeah, you're the sniffles for about 20 years.
So I heard the guy. I was listening to the doctor. What's wrong? Sniffles. What do you need? All right, I'll get the morphine. I'll bring the morphine. They get morphine. They get smack. Anything for sniffles. That's what happens.
Maybe I'm thinking of sniffles. See, I think sniffles is like a little cold.
But you're missing my point. And you're a bright man. You've written great books.
I know what you're saying. You're saying that these doctors overprescribe.
For the stars.
Absolutely.
But we can't allow that to happen.
Also not a star. So right there.
Me too.
Yeah. So you go into the...
So when can we do this?
Yeah. So you go into the doctor, and he says, ibuprofen will do you fine. Actually, he said the brand name, but I can't say that.
Now listen, happy holiday to you.
Happy holidays to you too.
And Christmas and everything. But I brought a skull cap.
Do you do Christmas? I thought you were.
Well, no, I'm not deeply religious. You know what?
That's a yarmulke. I know I know the lingo.
Jeffrey, I wanted to give it to him.
No, dude. Seriously, I've got a feeling that if you put a yarmulke on the robot, we could get in a lot of trouble.
Why?
I don't know. It's call it instinct. No, call it. It's not anti-Semitic. Don't call me. I'm mishpuka, buddy. Don't you call me anti-Semitic.
I know.
No.
But then I'll put the skull cap here because
we call it a yarmulke.
It's a. You call it a yarmulke?
We call it a yarmulke. Me and my people.
Your people, don't scare me. What are you, that's scary, my people.
What do you mean? What?
Are you surrounding my house now with your people?
No.
So dig this.
Okay.
I go to...
Okay, where's the pee? Where's the pee?
Beautiful. When did you... Didn't you write that in front of... when you went to Paris and you sat in front of Morrison's grave and you came up with that?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Because it's brilliant. Now, let me ask you a question. How many doctors do you go to? Because I'm about 10, 12, 13 years old, and so I go to all the doctors. I try to get them all in 5 days.
Yeah, they all just do a specific thing. Like, one guy does your left nut, one guy does right. I only do right nuts. You know, it's like a union. Like, one guy does...
A right testicle doctor?
When I had a right testicle, I don't go there anymore.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Is one of your testicles smaller like a chestnut than the other one?
Yeah, it's
me too.
I have to wear special shoes so I don't walk in a circle.
You know, I had to call it... I had to call a contractor for $300 because when you're a celebrity, they rip you off. Well, if I want to even your balls off, you got to get... And he put a leveler up there.
Well, you got to bend from a knee. Bend from a knee.
Well, my balls, my testicles, anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not there. It's gone.
Yeah. So I go to all these doctors. And see, I never know when I'm on your show. You might say good night, so I want to just remember things I want to share with you because I hardly see you.
Visualize, everybody. We'll be right back.
You know with your Target Red card, you get 5% off, right? I mean, you got like $500 worth of nuts here, and you do the math.
Be 5%.
He was a communist comedian, and everybody knew he's a pinky.
You're a grand old flag. You're a high-flying flag. The first time I saw him was at a communist rally just outside Kiev. And I was then working at the old Belasco theater, not the new Belasco. It was the old Belasco. And he said to me, can you help me? And I said, no. And that's the last time I ever saw him.
You notice he never entertained in the White House during a Republican administration, although the Kennedys always had him. Lyndon Johnson, he was like a toy to Lyndon Johnson. He was like a court jester. And then he could make Lyndon really laugh. And he would just piss himself with laughter, you know. And, but Nixon never found Richard that funny. And I'm not sure Jerry Ford did either, although Ford went through all the motions. He tried to just get on the Richard Lewis bandwagon. I think Jerry Ford liked being seen with Richard. Made him look good.
He's volatile. You know, his material has a half-life. You kind of think about it later, and it hits you. It comes back to you. I've seen actually audiences laughing on the freeway because they've seen his show and didn't laugh at the time, but it hits them on the way home, and they respond then. He's gotten many standing ovations when people get to their house.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Lewis.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow, thank you very much. I am so incredibly, well, here, I got to tell you, I just spent about a week with family, and I am absolutely thrilled and delighted to be here in front of strangers. You have no idea. Can't believe it. My mother, she put a satellite dish up. I said, gee, wow, she's into sports, and I can't imagine discussing, like, the pennant race with her. But it was, believe me, it was like, it had to be like a Jewish satellite dish. It picked up problems from other families. Just like... Oh. Gotta breathe. I gotta learn how to breathe. I want to relax. I'm glad to be here. I have pressure. I'm walking to the club. I'm walking to this club. I've been here years. It's unbelievable. I'm just trying to relax. I walk to the club, tippy-toe in, to avoid any kind of anxiety. And, hey, what happens? His car is, like, sort of driving down. There's a guy without his headlights on. So they have these, like, loudspeakers. It's like, you know, Yankee Stadium on top of the car. And the guy goes, or the cop goes, I get confused myself, but I'm into the cop car now. The cop goes, put on your headlights. So, oh, sure. The guy put it on, but he, like, went over a canyon. It was so counterproductive, you know? And I'm just walking alone. The cop sees me, goes, stop blaming your childhood. Which is like, oh, you know, kind of a... Did I see a friend of mine having a college fraternity brother? I was in fraternity for about an hour or so, and comes in with the shake. I mean, I thought the guy was like, should be arrested. It was, I forgot. Who remembers after 20 years, you put the pinky there and you do it? I mean, really, there's so much on my mind to remember the shake. It was unbelievable. And he says, I see your sign. Here you're doing the showtime and the thing and the improv. And I said, well, right, well, I sent you a letter. And I sent the guy a letter weeks ago. If you're in business, you know how crucial the mail is. I have this problem with, well, I've lost a lot of work. I've lost friendships and lovers because the mail never got there, you know, like Valentine's. And what's third-class mail? What is third-class mail? First-class, third-class mail, they must strap a letter on the back of a mental patient and he wanders aimlessly through the, it's like a... I'm home, I'm trying to relax. See, I wasn't gonna wear this. I had a work shirt. I had a shirt that a grandfather, he left for me. It was, well, just weeks before he leaped off the Chrysler building. It's been a good luck shirt for me. And I went to the cleaners, this same-day service business all over the country. I'll tell you right now, it's like a neo-Nazi thing. It's not true. It had gigantic letters, it had same-day service, gigantic, okay? But if you have like a nuclear microscope and you go like very low, it's like, yeah, bullshit, no way in a million years. I come back, it's 4 o'clock, I'm a wreck already, you know. It's today, the day of the show. I wanted my grandfather's shirt. They don't have it. I said, I can't believe this. I can't. So they said, well, we'll call the plan. There is no plan. That's part of the conspiracy. There are no plans. His son, Paul, I think it's Paul, as if the name matters. Once again, I do needless things up here. But the guy was here, and, you know, I don't do any impressions either. It's really, God, there's so many limitations to this act, but... I wish I did improv. I'd maybe do a Julius Caesar. Maybe I do a Julius Caesar with that. So here's the owner of the... You're very bright people. Why have to now geometrically show you where the owner was? It's frightening. I frighten myself. But anyway, the cleaners... Not the cleaners. The cleaners is here. Here's the cleaners. Why am I setting this up? Why I even went into this piece is a nightmare, quite frankly. No, I want to go into it because I'm angry. Here's the guy, the owner. Here's his son. He was like doing like plant impressions. It was humiliating. It was like, again, it wasn't worth that. It was just something I wanted to share with you. So like, I get it back. They call me at like 6 o'clock today, and the shirt was ruined. They put some kind of card on it to cop out. It had like this stick figure of a person with like a, I don't know, like some kind of, I don't know, ice pack on his head. And they wrote whoops. They wrote whoops on it. What's this? What's whoops? What's whoops? I want my grandfather's shirt before he died. I don't want whoops, you know? Then they put that little bullshit, oh yeah, we couldn't get the kryptonite out. Yeah, sure. I wake up at 5:30 in the morning. Didn't want to. I finally went to sleep. And phone rings, 5:30 in the morning. And I'll tell you, oh, I just had a breath. Thank you. Thanks for allowing me. I apologize for breathing. That's why I'm in psychotherapy today. My mother calls me from Jersey, 5:30 in the morning. She has no concept of the 3-hour difference. She says, put on the Today Show. I can't put on the Today Show. Mother, Milky Way is still out my window. There's no Today Show on now. It's unbelievable. 3 hours early. She just says, oh, 8:30, 7:30. She just, that's the whole thing. That covers for the whole faux pas there. As if faux pas is a word, but she says, break a leg. I said, thanks. She says, by the way, I don't know if you want to know this before the show. Well, it's a little late now. She says, well, Aunt Faye, she can't move her knuckles. I don't know if you know that. Oh, wow. So what do you want me to do? Well, I sent her a get well knuckle card. Oh, where do I find knuckle cards now? I got a show to do. She can throw guilt without moving her conscience. It's unbelievable, my mother. Is this me? And I said, look, I love you, but just don't call me during the year. Oh, God. I'm sorry, did I spit, didn't I? You sure? You swear? I saw the job you come over there. You're in the spit lane, let's face it, you know? Because I do, I was in Vegas once about 5 years ago, and Wayne Newton was there, and that was unbelievable. My spit was sort of like a little wimpo job, just sort of. He was like, what a dynamo. I actually dug it. It was like an amazing thing to see, but he was blowing people away. It was like a Sam Peckinpah. Oh, I'm sorry, I've just killed your husband. What should I do? He's so rich. Give him a pony. Give him a pony. Table 3. Give him a pony. And I was literally. I was trying to get in the way. It was a nadir. If that's, I know, it's a low point, right? Why I have to give you 2 words for one? It's frightening. But I was literally trying to get in the way of his spit. It really was a low point for my life. And he just, because he was giving things away. He was giving things away, and he nicked me. He just nicked me. I got like a toaster oven or something, you know. I'm sorry. You all right?
He's got an incredible facility to allow his mind to wander and be stream of consciousness and be funny. And it's rare to see a comedian that work the way he does. The first time I saw him work, I thought, my God, you know, he's a nervous wreck. And yet he's allowing us to see into his head.
I get to his house, and he says, get into the car. So we get into his car. He starts it up, and we start driving, but Richard is not holding the steering wheel. But the car is just going through traffic. It's really like Fred McMurray and Flubber. I mean, it's just moving through everything. 10 minutes later, we pull up in front of his analyst's office. He said, isn't this been happening for about 3 days now? Am I crazy or what? And I said, yeah.
I said to him, Richard, there is a test that we give in the Freudian school, and I hope you will comply with that. It is, let me ask you, if there were a fire in your house, and there was a child screaming, and a Rembrandt, but a very rare Rembrandt, right? Richard, what would you grab from the fire and run out with? And he said, my dick.
I've been all over, and it's just really, God, it's really amazing to me. You know, comedy is really, all of a sudden I'm doing a lecture at Hunter College. I don't know what happened to me. Oh, I know why. I know why I was doing that. I was doing this gig up in Maine about a month ago, and I got freaked out because, you know, some gigs are a nightmare. Some gigs are gigs from hell, and I walked up in the afternoon, I see my sign, and it was off near Maine. It was near Maine. And at tonight, Richard Lewis and King Crab. I went, what, King Crab? I was on the bill with King Crab. I said, maybe it's like some kind of rock group. I saw maybe guys, you know, saxophone guys coming out. But that was it. I was on with the entree. That was the whole trip. And I walk into the club, and the people go, hi, do we get, to the waitress, do we get the French fries with the comic or not? We're not sure, you know. I'm doing my gig, not doing well. It was a nightmare, quite frankly. There's about 30 people there. In the middle of my act, it's right on the inlet or a sand with a bay. Who cares at this point? I hate the place. But a guy runs in from the back of the club wearing like a yellow raincoat, a slicker, whatever, and he screams out, the tuna is biting. And the entire audience just kind of... I go to the Deep South first time. I don't know, it was so frightening. Oh, boy. It was like outside of Mobile. Or, wait, I don't know where it was, some college. It was, and colleges you would think are pretty hip, but I unfortunately get a little nervous when they're 17 years old now, you know, and it's great, but sometimes I feel like I have to change references in the middle of a line, which is sort of frightening, you know. You know, back in the 50s, Adlai Stevenson, I mean Madonna. I wanted a nosh. I wanted to get a nosh. Can't we nosh? Aren't we allowed to nosh? I said, can I have a nosh? I'm very hungry. What's nosh mean? I went into a nosh panic. What's nosh? I don't know what Isn't there a delicatessen? We think we have a delicatessen. We're not sure. Delicatessen. They had, like, the Billy Ray Bob Tannenbaum delicatessen. Forget about it. There's no way. There's no way. Matzo Brown Betty. There's no way. They had this giant Texan with a lariat. There's no way you're gonna get like a sandwich there. You know, you're not even gonna get a sandwich. It's just they had like a Slim Pickens whitefish platter. They had something like. Then I go to Nashville while I'm on this Judaic run here. Unbelievable, my friend. I'm not very religious, but my friend moves there. Nashville, unbelievable. This country and western, crazed. You know, his son, he lip synced the bar mitzvah. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. It was nauseating to me. It was nauseating. And they had like the service was performed by the Rabbi brothers. I have never seen this before in my life. And I'm staying in this hotel, a beautiful hotel. I couldn't make this up. I swear. I wouldn't be an asshole to make a reference up like this and then do a joke about it. But they had a guitar-shaped pool. I couldn't believe it. A guitar swimming pool. I was nervous. I just walked around because it got me scared. And then I walk around and I don't swim. That's a whole other problem. But I just, it was so ill-conceived because the deep end was about, I don't know, because it was the neck of the guitar. It was like a foot and a half. That was it. So people were trying to do laps. It was just sort of this kind of thing. It was ridiculous. The babies were going wild. They were doing like water polo there, and they were flaunting it, you know. But and Elvis, the king of rock, I guess, and he used to buy out this hotel when he came down from Memphis, and so I was told. And hey, why not? The guy was unbelievable. But nevertheless, it gets a little nauseating after a while because everything was dedicated to the king, and the room service menu. It was written like he probably ordered stuff like 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, put a lot of it, quite frankly. You know, it was like a Reuben sandwich with Reuben sandwich, but they spelled it like that. It was unbelievable. So I'm going to Reuben sandwich with French fries, cocoa, blah blah blah. And then everybody comes up, the bell, I have Reuben sandwich, as if that sounded like that could have been Ava Gordon. Let's face it, that was trying to do an Elvis impression. It's embarrassing. I really. I go to a place near El Paso, which, oh, what a thrill to be near El Paso. Whoa. I'm freaked out. I'm nervous, as you know, and I tried to get a prescription, a sedative, and they make me sit on a mechanical bull waiting for this Valiant prescription in the Can you imagine being on... you have to be in a nice place when you're away from your lovers, otherwise it's a nightmare. I was in this... This was really like a, well, to me, it was like I was in a low self-esteem inn. I just felt I felt so bad about myself. I mean, the inducement for people to come, they had outside on the marquee, they had, we have AM radio. Hey, let's go, let's go. It was like a Bates Motel training school. It was frightening. It was like a Todd Browning Freaks. People took it over after the movie, after they didn't make a sequel, and they walked around, the maids would come in, they would like, put your beds up, and then they would like put a spell on the room and run out of the room. I tried to go to the airport. I said, look, can you scare me at 8:15 tomorrow morning? It's very important. They had some bar from hell next to it, which I had to go. There was nothing to do. There was nothing to do. And they had a revolving restaurant, supposedly, that didn't spin. It was so, like an Alan Funt joke. Because I sat there, I saw the same donkey and cactus out there. I know that either I passed away or something was going on there, okay? And then every 20 minutes, the maitre d' came out, okay, rotate your tables, you know, and he like ran around. And it was a group of salesmen, unbelievable, the most repressed, depressed, suppressed, whatever. They were really down. These people were down, and they had like from 4 to 6, like Willie Loman hour they had in this bar. They gave them free bowls of soup just to try to drop their head in there and, you know. What do you do on the road? Saturday? First of all, I could have driven near El Paso. I could have gone 90 miles to see this production of Torch Song Trilogy with you Downs. I wasn't about to do that. Wasn't about to do that. I already saw Larry Holmes going for the march. He fought Norman. Who did he fight? He fought. Who did he fight? I think he fought a guy, Norman Fell or something. I don't know who he fought. Some guy. I don't know. Guy from Three's Company. He fought some actor. It was Fell. He was great. Fell. He's a great actor. I love this guy. So that was a drag. They had this horrible cable that wasn't like a good cable. It was like a pseudo cable company that everything sucked. It was like they had like movies from hell. It was like the Three Stooges Relax. What kind of movie was this? They would go, nah, I'm too healthy now. I don't really think I have to do this now. It's the... And they had this guide. They had this guide. They think we're monkeys. People who write these guides. I mean, Streetcar was on, which I was thrilled about. And they write it in the guide. Imagine if you didn't know this play. What's on? Well, let's see. Oh, Streetcar named is on. A surprise visit from his sister-in-law throws off Stanley's bowling game. That's the kind of thing is this, you know. Got a bad porn movie on. Sort of, I left the TV on. I come in to a porn movie, which is sort of astonishing. Well, it's not astonishing. It's astonishing to me, not to you. You didn't experience it with me. I don't know what. But I have a theory about foreign films, even in America. You know, if it's like it's the titles. I feel the titles have a lot to do. Like if it was like the janitor with the 3 penises, it would be put in the crummy movies. But if it was like the janitor, the 3 penis. Let's go to the Cineplex. Let's go to the Cineplex. It's amazing what that title will do, just upgrade it immediately, you know.
I was very sad when the day he came in and he said to me, Dr. Mehdi, I don't feel I'm making any progress. Progress, again, there's movement here. Again, if you watch him on stage, there's a great deal of head movement, which is very penis-oriented. But I said to him, but we are, Richard, we are making incredible progress. I went to your act last night, and I counted 50 dick references. When you first came to me, you were 150. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I realized that I was limited at that point. No matter what I would do for Richard, he has mastered this to such a degree. He's so complex and so unique that even with all my technical and, I must say, very sophisticated abilities, that his dick was, in a sense, larger than mine.
I've never met his mother, but I think that, you know, he has an inability. I mean, he does have these beautiful women all the time, and he makes love to them, but I don't think he's ever able to have a really serious relationship with a woman, and I think his mother is probably a great deal responsible for that. I've never met the woman, but, you know, she should probably chip in for some of his analysis, if not all.
I talk about family a little bit because well, I saw a lot of them last week, and God, it's amazing. They wanted to, well, it's unbelievable. I should really produce a show at Radio City, Night of 100 Anxieties. That's what I would call it. Or I should get a bypass, a family bypass. I heard about this. I read there's a little doctor in Belgium. He just snips a little something from your, whatever you have, that little brain thing, and all of a sudden, hey, I was raised by Dutch people. I was raised by... I go to my aunt's house in Manhattan. This is when the humiliation starts for me, okay? I get to the apartment. She has a buzzer, all right? So, you know, what is it? How long does it take a person to go, hi, it's Richard, let me in. So she went, well, she didn't say anything. What she did do was buzz, I would say easily, for about 4 or 5 minutes. It was humiliating. How long did it take? And you're in, and you're in. I feel like it's a put down. You know, who would take so long to make a decision to go in or not? I came there. Maybe Monty Cliff, some old method actors, you know, they were going, you know. I want in. I went there and I want in. Then she says, I go in there, she's 80 relatives in a studio apartment with a terrace, and I'm telling you, the landlords in New York, they must take an anti-laugh biotic when they sign contracts. These terraces, this was unbelievable to me. It was about a foot wide and about 8 feet long, and she had, everything was like adapt, like well, the dinosaurs didn't adapt. Once again, a negative kind of analogy. But like the hibachi was like I mean, she went to like the Slim store, some Upper East Side, like it was a slim, like only strip steaks and little yams, you know. You couldn't enjoy only like the flying Gallinis. I love the terrace here. Relatives are jumping off, needless suicides. You can't, these slim terraces. It's a drag. Nothing changes. The music, it was like she pipes in, my aunt, it's like tension music. It's dun, 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 dun. It's always a lot of intrigue going on. Then we played musical arguments, which is a big game with us. When the yelling stops, try to get a bridge chair, but... oh, God. I was sitting there watching my nephews and nieces. It was a birthday party, and look, it was too negative. It's too negative. My mother holds up a glass of wine in front of everybody and says, "You're killing your father." It's like, it's a horrible toast. It's a horrible toast. Then things lightened up. My uncle, let's dance. He put on the soundtrack from The Pawnbroker, which is like, you know, in the den. Things are getting moodier and darker, and it's just... Fortunately, my mother, she created this, like, Guilt Express checkout lane at the party. Like, here, I let everybody down, and then you walk out, like 3 or 4, and then you're out of there. Otherwise, you're there for the entire trip there. It's like, I don't know. I went to a psychic. He said that during my adolescence, I had an out-of-family experience. That's what this guy told me. I should have got that artist Christo to cover the entire, you know, family. You know, it's about, it cost a fortune. But I don't know. I sort of liked him. I had to take him out to eat, and I had a date, too. What a schmuck I was to think that I can actually not have a nightmare with a new date in front of this family in a restaurant. Every restaurant automatically becomes the Embarrassment Inn. It's unbelievable to me. My mother opens the door like it's Wyatt Earp time, and she's so loud. I know she just doesn't know how loud she is. It's my problem that I care. I wish I didn't care that everybody was listening to this woman, you know. And she's like a bowling alley with lipstick. It's unbelievable to me. It's ridiculous. She opens the door. Yeah, I know, Aunt Marie, she has that cyst removal. And I get so good. And I try to divert attention. I go, hey, nitty, nitty, and the cow's in the front. And I do a little card. How you doing? No, listen, I do a little, I pick a card, any card. You know, it's like... Go to this Hawaiian restaurant. It was a nightmare, some rip-off restaurant. Drinks were $12, and they have these menus in this Hawaiian restaurant. You know, they write some bullshit about every hors d'oeuvre, every drink. It jacks up the prices unfairly. Like, you can't get a scotch. You have to get, I don't know, King Scotchahuno or something like that. It's like $18.95, and they bring this gigantic glass in with a Hawaiian doll in the glass, okay, with like a little spear and a battery pack, and it's leaping out of the glass. And I'm dodging my own drink for 12, you know, who needs this? It hits me in the eye, it's killing me. Luckily, there's eye patch vending machines in the back there. But I took out a spectacle insurance policy, so I'm covered for the day, but I just, my family, my mom, I sort of love her, but things don't change. When I go back to a house, it's wild to me. She has this cleanliness thing that I have now, unfortunately. The dog, before it killed itself, she made this dog wipe its paws off before it came to the house. This to me is sad. The dog got so nuts it developed like a little nervous cough before it barked. It was sad. It was sad to see it. The dog used to go, I hate to see it. So I get to her house and she's vacuuming the front lawn. I don't understand it. How does she have a Hoover with a garden attachment? Where does she find this thing? And everything smells. Everyone smells. Why not? She has. I once bought her Airwick earrings. So every room, every place she went was cool, you know. She had a cottage cheese problem. She had to smell cottage cheese in the stores. I could see if you're home alone, okay? You smell. But she went right to that dairy case. It was like, but she was a big shot, quite frankly. Everyone knew because she knew. I really respect her for this because she knew when they were jerking us around. Because in that dairy case, they put the crap up front. You have to make a complete fool of yourself because, you open the case and the cottage cheese has, like, on the bottom, like, hello from Ike, on the front there, You have to get, like, the guy from the Atomic Energy Commission with isotope. I'm going to get what I deserve, you bastards. You can't. It's impossible. So she knew that, but she was, she made a fool of herself there. I mean, she would smell everybody's cottage cheese and said, no, don't get this one. Go back further. She had pictures, like, on Safeway stores with, like this and like this, like FBI things. And I was cesarean, and she always, it was a tough birth, I guess. But she thought, I know exactly. I know exactly what tough birth. But I came out of, I don't know where, somewhere in an inappropriate spot, and it just, I feel like a little touched, quite frankly, by being a cesarean. I feel everybody, I feel that I've spoken to people who've been cesarean, I mean, like, if you go to a movie, and everybody's, like, walking out the front, I go, no, trust me, there's a hidden stairwell,
I think Richard is one of the few Gentile comedians who's really tapped into the whole gestalt of Jewish humor, Jewish comedy in our society, which is remarkable considering his background. The schools in Switzerland and the, Presbyterianism, all that stuff. And then just to be able to riff so well, to get into that mindset of the Jewish people.
Well, when he gets on stage, he doesn't stop. He's a 24-hour fire drill. He's a pop, 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 pop. It's one thing after another. And it's hard to, you've really got to, when you watch a performance of Richard's, you've really got to pay attention because he's so quick that what happens is as you're laughing about the last thing he said, he slips 5 more in while you're laughing. And it's just a continuous laughter.
Few of us realized he was taking that chance and becoming a comedian until he would ask others of us to join and go to these clubs for performances, groups of people gathering in darkly lit places for a 2-drink minimum. It was very, very painful at the time. I didn't know. I wasn't taking part. I would perform. We all would perform, and people would yell up things, and you would respond. I didn't realize what it would lead to. I didn't realize that he's this underground whole group of people in other clubs like this, with owners of clubs organizing and actually setting up what they call the road, where you go out and spread the word of comedy and of the dark cult of comedy, this neurotic, Jewish-based comedy that goes beyond just now, that actually attempts to probe deep into their own soul. And I became part of that, going to a place called Cantor's, sometimes to eat unusual Hasidic foods after performing comedy. All of this, part of the ritual, part of the the whole feeling of it. I guess the truth is I'm a comedian too. God damn it. Stop, turn off the camera. That's all I can say. Seriously, where are you from?
My grandparents were a trip. I really, whatever that means, what an expression that is. That could mean a million things. But, God, my grandfather was 70 years older than I was. I was 5, he was 75, I was 10. He was, kept going up like that. He was very consistent about that. And he's a depressed guy. He left his grief to science, which I felt was like a major, major thing. He used to sleep like this. It was sad. He used to go, oh, I'm a failure, I'm a loser, I'm nowhere. And he wore his pants up to his neck. This is what I didn't understand. That was what I thought a man was. His pants were over here, so his arms came over here, his balls were hanging over here, his eyes were here. Who was he? Who was this man, And he had breath from hell. It was frightening. We all had bad breath, but he was like, he could wipe out like a nation. It was frightening. And you could be in the greatest mood, and as soon as Grandpa would talk to you, it was over. I go, oh, I got a great prom day. Oh, how you doing? Oh, but I don't have a goal. I don't know what I'm going to do after I get out of school. And he passed away, and I had to leave, like, after death mints on the grave, and I was like... that was very nice, but, when I pause, it's just for health reasons. I don't really mean to milk... He used to belch, though. Belch from hell. It was like, when he would belch, I'm not going to do a belch impression, but as if I could, but when he would do a belch, I was convinced that, like, 3,000 miles away, like in Zaire, deers would, like, turn around, like, in the forest, because it was, like, really... And he talked in a language from hell. This is what I couldn't understand. He would say, hey, thanks, Grandpa. I'm sure that means something to poltergeist, What does that mean? I was so humiliated when friends would come in, And I asked my grandfather, and I just felt, he was lecturing on a Little League game. It was so sad. And I was embarrassed. I ran to the television. I got the little rabbit ears. I glued the rabbit ears on to get good Grandpa reception. That's what I did. And he was, and I would, like, shake it around his head. I want a club sandwich. He wants a club sandwich. And my grandmother, my grandfather's name was Yikva, which meant, Jewish name meant killed by an avalanche. I don't know why he needed that. So his wife was Yikvet, they met at some kind of dating service, which meant, watch out for the avalanche. They were perfect for each other, and she was a great woman. She wore buns. I'm not against buns, but she had about 17 buns wherever she on her head. It was like a Danish circus act, and she kept them spinning like the old Sullivan Show. It was wild. She had lipstick from hell. I don't mind lipstick on anybody, but it started on her lip, and then it sort of left her face and sort of went around the building, and it wound up on other people's, homes, like in other communities. What's this lipstick here? It was like a Nova episode, the lipstick from nowhere. It was like... Everything was a good omen with her. That's one of the reasons I loved her. Like, Grandma, vampire bat just sucked all the blood of cousin Phil. She'd go, oh, that's great. He'll go to dental school. I mean, she always found something. She was sort of a psychic. She had like a Walker divining rod. It was really strange. She went, Grandma would wind up like behind fish markets. She'd find things like that. And she was short. I'm a short man, but she was literally... I'd say about 2.5 in heels, okay, and she always wore veils from Russia, so she looked like the Roadrunner going to a wake. It was like unbelievable, and she tried to drive the car. This was what killed me. I hated going with my family on trips. We went to Florida. First, my mother would drive. Forget my grandma. My mother would drive. She was so paranoid. She always thought the left lane was like the Sirhan Memorial Lane. That's what she thought. She thought it was there only for people just to cut us off. That was pretty much the goal. So she had her hand on the horn for 25 hours. Frightening sound, right? We went crazy, but geese used to hear the sound. They loved it. They used to they thought it was like a sexual thing. They used to hover over the car in the most incredible positions I've ever seen. And one goose fell in love with my mother somewhere near Virginia Beach, and it was courting my mother. It flew real low. It was like a De Niro goose. His hair was slicked back, a little bouquet of flowers, a little cold duck, and he got right by the right window. I went, do you care that I'm a goose? Does it bother you that I'm a goose? And, Well, the frightening thing was she got hot for a second. I went, oh, God, I'm going to have a goose stepfather now. I mean, it was tough enough bringing him into, like, you know, arts and crafts, but I was my goose stepfather, and he'll quack when he likes my work, and he'll leave, and when my father would drive, he backed out of the driveway on cruise-o-matic. Some kind of old... He pressed about 190 miles an hour in reverse, and it was like 3 Gs of... It was like adolescence in space while hovering around the car there. Then he would wake up like 100 miles away. Where are we? You know, he'd take a shower in the car. I mean, it was like a whole environment he created for himself. We'd be in the back seat. He would start driving regularly and then spit at him, believe me, on the turnpike with kids in the back seat. It's unfair to children to spit. The spit makes a complete U-turn in the front, you know, and then we're in back there like with bee farmer masks on, you know. It's like, and then my grandmother tried to drive, and it was frightening. It was, first of all, she brought her Russia's, like a driver's license, which is pointless. I mean, it must have been about 12 by 20, which, in a big frame with a picture of a czar raping people trying to parallel park. It was ridiculous, ridiculous. And she was under the wheel. She was under the wheel of the car. No one could see her. I mean, it was embarrassing. We get to a light. She's under the wheel. Cops will go, oh, my God. It looked like a bad Disney movie, like the grandma with no neck or something like that. So I had to go to shop class, and I built like a grandma face, and I glued it somehow on the wheel so it looked like something was going on there. It was scary. It was scary. But, you know, you can't live in the, you know, live with family your whole life. Like, apparently, I moved out here. I left the family, and I live in a predominantly anxious section of town, in Santa Monica. I don't know. I see these people, you know, around my apartment. They have kids. Gee, I'm in my 30s now. I always try to, gee, what am I going to do? Am I going to have a child? I'll be like one of these old pops. It depresses me. Like, I'll get married in 10 years, and she'll have a career, have a kid. Maybe I'll be 63. He'll be in Little League. I'll be 111. And, you know, it's ridiculous. I'll be 111 when he's in Little League. They'll have to wheel me in like a glass bubble. It makes me depressed, you know. Your son's bunting, Mr. Lewis. Give me my bun pill a minute. I just... And I feel stupid. I don't know enough. I don't want to die yet. I don't know anything. I had this dream of, like, being on the deathbed. I have to be surrounded by pals who have to just give me as much info as fast as possible. Otherwise, I'll feel like an idiot when I die. Like, whoa, what's racket, pigeon steering? But on the other hand, you know, you get to this point, if you're a man or a woman, as if I had to, you know, describe how many genders there are, you know, you get set in your ways. I'm eccentric. I know I can't imagine having someone want to live with me now. I can't imagine lying in bed with someone and she'll say, it's 2 a.m., where are you going? Oh, I know, it's 2 a.m., I have to skip to my loo. I mean, who's going to want to put up with this, you know, at this point? But, I don't know. My ex was very healthy, and God, I'm really in touch with how unhealthy I am. In fact, my shrink said there's an unhealthy man trying to get out of my body, which is surprising how. But I'm a hypochondriac. Even as a kid, in the schoolyard, I used to eat M&Ms one at a time with a glass of water. It was embarrassing there in the park.
Richard Lewis is an enigma. He's a paradox. He's a puzzlement. He has the ability to get women, beautiful women, to have sex with him, and anybody who could get these women, you'd think, well, he'd have it made, and he'd be relaxed and calm and together, but just the opposite's true. He makes love with very beautiful women and is a nervous wreck.
I don't think Richard likes to be seen in public with women. I think his experiences with women must be so horrible that they have to be kept in private. I think there's a lot of huddling and crying and triptychs to Esalen.
Somewhere there's a shiksa with his name written on her. She's waiting for him, some bionic, guilt-free woman who will accept him for who he is and the other people he carries with him. Someone who will every night make him feel good, and then in the morning make him feel shitty again. That's what he needs, someone that special. I've seen Richard go through a lot of unusual women, and it's been a good experience for him. It's kind of like, well, self-abuse with sandpaper. He has that kind of wonderful look of, I'm in love, and then the next week, I'm a bitch.
But I broke up with this woman, and God, I'll tell you, believe me, I am no gift, but this was Satanette. This was a frightening. They're all in that. She's in the who's who in torment. I'm convinced of this. it was a nightmare. And I went up, my shrink said to go up to Santa Barbara. There's a little retreat, Wounded Jew. I don't know if you know that place up there. But now I'm not with her, which is good. You know, I'm between pain, quite frankly. And I have a low threshold for joy. That's my problem. I just don't understand. When it's over, it should be over. I can't believe that why do I stay around? It's like I put molasses in these crummy relationships. I paint the house, and I just stay in these sucky relationships for 3.5 years. I need a high school track coach to get me out. Go, and then maybe I can break out of something. She said to me, I don't like you. I don't want children from you. I never liked your family. And I would say, what are you cranky? What's cranky? Why do I call her? It's sad. When your exes, you call them, they're not thinking, you know, they're not thinking about us. I mean, I'm walking around, should I call now? You know, she's selling Mardi Gras tickets. She has no idea what I'm doing in my, you know? And I say, how you doing? She goes, who is this? It's Richard. She said, Richard who? Like, right away, it's like a humiliation. Richard Lewis, yeah, I do comedy. I mean, I knew her for a long time, so it starts to get sad. And I said, why are you calling me? And I said, well, you know, it's the anniversary of the cotton gin. I just figured it was time to... It's amazing. Well, I don't know. I live so far in the past. You know, I try to resolve all these bad relationships. It's sort of tragic. I really live way, way in the past. Shrink said that the latest I could ever die now is 1969. I just, it's ridiculous. I call people back like from 30 years. Hi, remember that thing in the jungle gym? Hey, I was upset. I had a popsicle in my eye. I'm sorry. And why do I change my life after I break up? Why can't you be together, you know, like an independent person when you're with somebody? As soon as I break up, I have all new goals. Are we through? We're done now, right? I want to be a rodeo clown. I want to be a rodeo clown. And dating, isn't it possible to date again? I mean, I'm so burned out. I get burned out. I'm sitting in a restaurant. I'm just sitting, it's like lovely. And she says to me, this woman, really terrific, well, it's over now. She says, I don't think I'm in the mood for an appetizer. And I said, don't jerk me around. It's just, I can't fall in love anymore. That's not the greatest. I can't. My infatuation period now is about 3 seconds. You know, because I get scared. It's gonna go into hell. You know. So I'll say, boy, you're incredible. You're gonna destroy me. I mean, that's what happens to me. Because it has happened to me. Again, no gift, but nevertheless, it's happened. I thought I was in love. I thought things were great. Honey, what do you want to have for dinner? And she would turn around, blood from a lamb. Oh, my God, you know, it had happened. There should be warning signals, don't you think? To know that if things sucks and to get out. I mean, my friends knew this Satanette. They actually had like a candlelight mistake vigil outside my apartment. They were going, no, no, no. But it didn't work for me. Didn't work for me. I said, honey, I think you're drinking a little too much. You might have a drinking problem. She says, no, I don't. Where's my dog? Spritzer. You know, I knew that. She made Freudian slips from hell. Freudian slips from hell. She would say stuff to me like, vermin, I mean honeybee. You know. She couldn't get close. Look, I have trouble getting close. I'm afraid intimacy is the toughest thing to achieve in a relationship. But she panicked. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, after the first week, I went, boy, you look lovely. She went, don't smother me, scum. Which is, you know, enough. She always, tried to be argumentative. She would try to be controversial. She insisted that Yoko broke up Martin and Lewis, which how much was... She lied to me. She lied. I think she was cheating around. I saw little lines in her back. I said, fine, tell me. It's over. I don't care. I'm just curious. Tell me. She says, no. She didn't have the nerve to tell me. She said, no, I fell on a rake. You know, come on, please. She was an actress, and she was an actress, waitress, hostess. What a tough gig. Just being an actor and an actress is tough, but the waitress thing is tough, and the hostess thing. But then she finally, left the hostess thing. But it was hard to be with. I mean, we go into a restaurant, and she would say, table for me, table for me. It was like embarrassing. She got no work. She blamed me. Look, it's a bitch to be an actress or an actor. So few people get jobs. But, the truth, she did a porn movie. Some sleazy director got her, and he said, I'll change the name of the movie. I mean, the movie initially was Suck Me, Take Me, Lick Me. And then he added, and Give to UNICEF. And he added that, and then he... So, I felt the relationship went into the toilet because, she wasn't having work, and she dragged me to all these acting parties, and everybody was depressed. We used to get invitations, come be bitter from 8 to 11, She went comparison lead shopping every Sunday. Oh, God. She took me to an acting class. Oh, God, an improv class. Unbelievable. 300 people in like a Roman amphitheater. And why this guy chose me, and they make the people do a scene and take on a character in a second. It's frightening to me how people can do this. I mean, the guy drags me out and he goes, okay, Mr. Lewis, he says, you're an Aborigine, you own a pharmacy, and you're bisexual. Go. You know, it's like, it's impossible. So my ex was, she was in trouble. She was in trouble with acting, and she just, oh, God, she took on all these personalities. She didn't know who she was. I mean, I picked her up at an airport. It took about 3 hours to get out. She answered every courtesy phone. It was embarrassing. Call for Dr. Mark Twillman. Oh, that's me, honey. Oh, God. So she took lithium. Lithium is fine, you know, because her, you know, it was a mood elevator. But before the lithium, it was a nightmare. I mean, on a date with her before the lithium, she'd go, I want to go to an amusement park. No, let's go to a Bergman movie. It was like, it was just very frightening. And, she had an animal in the house that hated me. This was a thing that cats I happen to like a lot, but she had a cat that loved her ex and was like, first of all, he was a rapist, sexist, maniac cat that was out to get my ass at every turn. I mean, he literally leaped at me. But when she was in the house, he did the whole trip with the yawn, like he was doing a cat number. She would split. It was like Travolta time, forget about it. He was like a maniac. And he was raping everything in the neighborhood. I had to get him fixed. I'm very squeamish about this. I didn't know what getting fixed mean. I didn't know what to do. She was crying. I looked in the yellow pages. What do you look under? I looked under clip one ball off. What do you look on here? I finally found Dr. Nudo, some psycho veterinarian. It was, you should see this ad with a cat coming down a sawmill with this guy with a handlebar. So I go, Filippo, come on, we're going to go for a ride. He thought he was getting laid. Forget about it. When he saw that sign on the highway, your balls are history 5 miles, it was like, I had to put like chicken wire. It was like a police van going there. It was like, and when you're going to lose your balls, you go through some major, major changes. He was going, I always want to learn a second language. It's too late now. I'm sorry. And but the whole thing comes down to me, it's for sex. Sex is a key. It should be a great thing in your life, and I want it to be in my life. But I'm concerned about, dating. It's very tough to date. Diseases are, I don't know. I just, one-night stands, you're with a strange guy, a strange woman. You don't know. I mean, like, is it worth it for that one moment of ecstasy to wake up? Oh, my God, there's a fez growing out of you. And this one woman said, I haven't made love in 3 months. Me neither. I just want companionship. We make love. Next day, the call right from the clinic. Hi, I'm sorry. I have this thing. You have to take this. You told me you haven't made love. No, the doctor said it was either from oral sex or witnessing a meteor shower. It might have been witnessing. And you have to take this. You can't drink for 118 days. You have to mow people's lawns. Oh, God, it was like a creature. Are there any side effects? Well, you might turn into a cigar. 2 people did in Sweden, but... So my ex breaks up with me. She's bad-mouthing me all over town. She told my friends that she had the fake foreplay, which was humiliating. I was like, I tried my best. Now I feel guilty for having a bad sex life with her, and I don't allow myself even to have an orgasm now unless I commit to about 6 to 8 weeks of community service, which I feel is sort of a... And this birth control stuff is so unfair for women to have to go through these things and the things. I don't even know what they look. I mean, they scare. I mean, the sponge and the thing and the thing and the it's unfair. And yet, I feel very insensitive about this. I said to this woman, look, you don't use anything. I'm curious. She said, I know my body. I said, what do you use? I just have to know. She said, a rabbit's foot. It was not enough for me. She said, it's not enough for me. I'll never be able to function. She said, well, I know my body. What do you mean you know your body? She had a little chart. Okay, the Aurora Borealis is over here. I don't have my period until 1985, and you have to wear a wizard's hat on Wednesday. Oh, I can't. It's, So I went to a sex counselor. Forget about that. Oh, God, he prescribed, like, just try to get intimate again, like the first couple of weeks, hay rides, I mean, it went too slow for me. This is way too slow. And the simultaneous orgasm, I know it's crucial. I don't know, maybe it is. I don't even know anymore. I didn't even know she had an orgasm. I said, did you have an orgasm? I don't know. We shoot a flare over the house soon. I have to know. We tried that orgasm at the same time. The doctor told her to shoot a 2-minute warning in bed, which was, it took away all the heat, I just, you want to be hot. You can't stay hot the whole time. That's what I learned from this. You can't be hot with the same person forever. You have to dip. I know it gets sort of sad, when you say, oh, tonight, you be the caterer, I'll be the insurance man, and you come in with a Chef Boyardee hat and a spatula. It's time, man, then it went south already, And I want to express myself sexually. That's the key, to be able to be myself. I I can't. I yodeled once. I had a yodel breakthrough. I yodeled, and then she came in the room, and I panicked. I got tongue-tied, because I can't be me. I become like Jerry Lewis. I can't talk and make love at the same time. I go, I really let Hellman. It's sad. It's sad. I have it. Hellman. It's sad. It's a. Well, how do you do it? How do you? The best I could ever do, while in the hottest moment, making love with this woman, I said to her, you're zany and delightful. I said, I'm going to get off. You've been a great audience, and thank you very much.
It's amazing how he's made this neurotic image work for him over the years. I guess I met him on a golf course, actually, originally at a country club. And he's practically a scratch golfer. And we were having martinis, and I don't know, he turned me on to a couple of good, stock things.
I don't know what to say about Richard. He's very special to me. I went to his house one day, and it's crazy because he has nothing but closets. He can be in, out, better late than never. I don't know. He's a special, special young man. I mean, a little maudlin, but who isn't nowadays, the way things are? I guess things are tense. All of us are tense. I guess the man just has a little faucet with Valium in it. I shouldn't say Valium. You're not allowed to say faucet, are you? Oh, God, what can you say? He's a doll. He's kind of like a combination of Charlton Heston and Rula Lenska. That doesn't make sense. Let me take that back.
Well, my time is up, and I would just like to say this, that Richard Lewis, if you are watching, and I know you are because it is your Showtime special, come back to analysis. You need it.
I'm so excited to have you here. I really am.
Don't lie in front of your friends.
No, I am.
I brought 300 relatives. The bar mitzvah's about an hour from now. It's great to see you.
It's great to see you.
It's one I wore these for the eclipse and I forgot to take it off. I'm a recovering drug addict for 23 years, and sometimes I'm addicted to glasses now.
Is that you started wearing glasses because you were trying to mask something?
I was trying to mask the President of the United States.
I love that you're in...
I'm sorry, I alienated 3 of you. I apologize. Here's what happened. And I don't care. I'm not going to do politics. When you do on Twitter, some guy says, you're brilliant. I'm trying to be elitist. You're brilliant. You're the favorite. I grew up on you. You're 70 years old. I watched you when I was 12 years old. Then I go, but this president, you Jew bastard son of a bitch. So, you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
You really nowadays.
This is my first time I've done. This is my billionth show.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And I've never done your show, and I'm not stroking you, but we wrote to each other, and I think you're amazing.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
No, he'll hate that. He'll hate that. But my first TV show, 45 years ago, was with Johnny Carson. And I'm waiting behind the curtain, not behind the Barney's elevator, which I have no idea. I got so scared. A guy says stockings, underwear. I don't know what the hell's going on over there.
We have everything back there.
Was that like a big meeting? Let's have an elevator. And they get $3,000 a minute for that discussion.
That's right, yeah.
So dig this.
Yeah.
I'm waiting behind. It's Johnny Carson. I'm 24 years old. And rest his soul, Paul Papard.
Jack Parr?
No, Papard.
George Papard.
George Papard.
Right, yeah, from the 18.
I'm on like the last 6 minutes of the show. It was on for 90 minutes, and he had lung cancer. So I'm back there crying, and he says, and he's talking about he has very few weeks to live. He has lung cancer. And then Carson says, well, we'll wish you the best. And then he segued, and now, for the first time on national television, I went into the toilet in a way they had to get Jewish plumbers to get me out of the toilet.
Well, thank God Christian Slater's in good health.
Well, he wore glasses, too, and he wore a great suit. You know, the Spinners used to wear that purple suit.
The rubber band man.
The rubber band man.
That's right.
You can look at this, but it doesn't matter because we're done.
No, we're not done. I have a lot of questions
All right, go
for you.
on, shoot.
We may even, when we're done with this segment...
I like to improv.
We may even do a whole other segment just like on the internet or something if you want to.
You know who watches that? 4 people from Syria watch.
No, you...
Ask me anything you want. I'm 70.
I will.
I just turned 70. Come on, give me a break. And I used to have a decent penis, but my balls are so low now, it doesn't look as good as it used to.
Let me have a look. Let's see what's going on.
No, I can't.
You can't?
No, because I have a codpiece on like Ben-Hur. It looks bigger than it should.
You know, you have...
You know, when I make love with my wife, we wear 3D glasses over the mirror, and I look bigger now because of the 3D... Like Avatar. I have an Avatar penis. I have an Avatar penis.
You know what you've done now with the glasses?
Don't hate me. Do you hate me
taking
already?
them off,
Have
not
I
at
ruined
all.
my show?
I'm realizing you have beautiful eyes, and what you've done is you've removed your glasses
All right, I'll put them
halfway
back
through
on.
the interview and hypnotized me.
Because I
with your-
felt stupid. Here's what happens. You do a show. 5 people say, you're a rock and roll comedian. The other guy goes, what, are you trying to be a big shot? You know, everyone judges you. My family judged me from the womb on.
Did they really?
So then I decided, why don't I pick a job where I get judged every day for the rest of my life? How stupid is that? You're a great crowd, but thank you.
And you say your family judged you. Who is the most judgmental of all your family members?
I would say practically everybody.
Really?
Yes.
Everybody in the whole family?
Well, they wore parliamentary wigs, you know? And everyone was old. I was the youngest, like way young. My brother was out in the village, and you know, he's a writer. My sister eloped when I was 12, and she had 4 kids before I was 15. My father was never home, and my mother was you know, she had some tough. Here's when the Tonight Show. I called her from Sunset Strip. I've said this years ago, but I have to tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
You never heard it. I said, Mother, I'm on Johnny next Thursday. And she said, who else is on?
No.
So, what the hell? What? WTF? Then I knew I was screwed, you know. But my wife, I got married. I met my wife at look, I've been around. So I know all, you know, it's surreal. I'm just a regular guy, but I'm a rock and roll fanatic. So I went in college during the late 60s. So all of a sudden, I'm friends with all these people. Ringo Starr is a good buddy of mine. I met my wife at a party.
Wow, that's a good pal to have.
Ringo?
Yeah, I mean, really. He's a Beatle.
I know. No, he's a great guy, and he helped me with my sobriety, and he's a great guy. So my wife was at the party. She was in the record business. So I knew a lot of these guys, but I didn't know all of them. Like, you know, the Eagles, all these big rock stars were there. So I see this guy who owed me a big favor. I go, listen, is that woman, is she single or not? I have to know now. I fell in love. I was smitten immediately. So I said, you better find out or I'm never going to help you again. And he said, she's single. So I went over to her, and I never stopped seeing her 20 years later. And it's great.
That's beautiful. I thought you were going to make a joke out of it, but...
Well, no. She's very cynical and very funny. And I remember I was doing a show, a benefit for Mort Saul. You know, he's one of the great legendary guys of all time. And so we're driving home. Mort, this is years ago, Mort had 4 blondes sitting with him. And, you know, look, you get older, we're intimate, but, you know, on my back, my ass, my neck, my ears. Sometimes the doctor says you want to have intercourse or a career. That was a sad thing to say.
The doctor said that to you.
Yes, intercourse or a career. So he says, to have intercourse, you have to only lie on your back. And my wife says, only on your back? You were so great when we met. I go, but I had a prescription. Richard can only lie on his back. So we made a deal. My wife has her own business, okay?
Okay.
So she says, so I said, if you only lie on your back, I can be on the telephone while we're having intercourse. So she's very hip.
Yeah,
so
sure.
we're doing this Mort Saul thing. I know we got to end soon. This whole thing is ridiculous.
We're going to do another segment for the Syrians.
No,
yes. Yeah, come on.
So let me just tell you.
Yeah.
So I see Mort, and we're driving home. I say, "Do you think Mort's still not Mort? Do you think you Hefner was sitting there with the 5 blondes? You think he still screws?" And my wife said, "No, no, no. What do you mean, no? It's Hugh Hefner." And here's what she said: "They probably, and if I get bleeped, I don't care. It was so hip." She says, "They probably just play with his pecker and feed him grapes."
That would be a hell of a title.
I'm driving, and I almost killed 900 people driving home. And I said to my wife, "Who needs grapes? I don't need grapes." If my wife played with my pecker every night,
Richard.
I wouldn't be here, I'll tell you that. I gotta go.
No.
I know.
Here's what we're going to do.
He's
Curb
the
Your
best. You're the
Enthusiasm returns October 1st,
October
HBO.
1st, I'm on
Jack
my
Johnson's
tour.
butt. Let's do one more. We'll do one more. We'll do one. We've never done this, but we'll do one special segment. We'll put it on YouTube. Nobody even watches television anymore. All they watch is the internet. All right? So we'll be right back with Jack Johnson, but we'll also be back with Richard Lewis. Do you love clicking buttons and subscribing to things? Then click the button to subscribe to my channel, and you'll finally be happy.
Okay. Our next guest. I'm sure you all know Richard Lewis. He's a very funny young man, and he's in a new series now that's a big hit called Anything But Love, which co-stars Jamie Lee Curtis. And then he's going on the road. He's going to be Friday night in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, Saturday night, April 14th at the Westbury Music Fair in New York, and then Monday in his hometown of Englewood, New Jersey at the John Harms Center. Would you welcome Richard Lewis? Hey.
Let me just make sure there's a cushion here for me. Thank you. It's great to be here. I'm glad you changed the carpet for me.
Hey, once every 10 years we get new carpet.
I'll tell you something. About 3 months ago.
Yeah.
This is tooting my horn, but who cares?
Go ahead.
Because life's short, and why not? You know.
Who knows where we're going?
So I played Carnegie Hall for the first time.
Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, right. And Doc and his beautiful wife came, and Doc called me. He says, "What should I wear?" That's how sensitive he is. Doc, he said, "Should I wear the Pinky Lee stuntman outfit, or should I go for the more of the kind of?" He was going to go for like a Gene Autry kind of thing, and I went, I don't know, because he was going to sit in the front. I got him front row seats, right? Am I right? Or am I wrong, Doc? And you wore, unfortunately, the Spike Jones.
Spike Jones outfit.
Yeah. And why you brought the xylophone and blew bubbles during my show? I love you, and I love your wife, but. Thanks a lot.
But Carnegie Hall, that's not bad.
Oh God, it was a dream come true.
But that's the
really.
top of the line, isn't it?
Yeah, but for me, a nightmare come true because my family wanted to come, and I love them. And
yeah, but aren't you going home to Englewood in triumph now? I mean,
well, triumph is a stretch for me,
but
quite frankly. But well, yeah, I'm going to go back and see them. But my mother, she called me 5 minutes ago.
You're kidding.
No, it's unbelievable. I've been. Can I just say something?
Sure.
I did the first Tonight Show, and this sounds. I'm sorry if I'm indulgent, but I have to.
Hey.
I did it in 1974, and I never sat here. So it's like 16 years. And the only time I sat next to you, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was with a wonderful woman. I say person because it broke up.
Yeah.
I use third person when you put it.
Yeah.
And I was sitting, and you were flying you always go to Wimbledon, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So you were sitting, I said, oh my God, Johnny's across the aisle. So I'm sitting across from Johnny Carson for 7 hours. I went, and I have a lot of nervous habits, and I have a problem that I have to look. Like, let's say you were Johnny.
Okay, I'll be Johnny.
And you've always been known as being a great impressionist. You know that.
Sure that, yeah.
So I'm sitting right here. You're literally Johnny.
Right.
And I'm 7.5 years.
Right.
And I said to my girlfriend at the time, who was a terrific woman, so please.
The third person.
Yeah, right. I say, Johnny's here, and I've done the show for 10 years, but I never sat with him. This is it was like a panel practice for me, actually sitting next to you. And I have nervous habits, so I didn't want to look. You're doing great, by the way. I didn't want to look at Johnny because I didn't want Johnny to be like, oh God, this comic, he's going to impose on me.
Yeah.
This is a long flight.
Sure, I understand that.
You know what they do for 8 hours. You know, they got the peanut brunch, and then they have the other brunch, and then you know, after 3 hours, they do Ibsen's Ghost for a while, you know, and then one of the stewardess did a Jolson impression for a couple of minutes. So it's a long
And the
flight.
hand shadows
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
whole,
Yeah, I know.
right. The whole thing, right? So I tried my best not to look at you. But I panicked because I was in a bad way with this woman. So and she already hated me. Yeah. But so you're Johnny, and again you're doing unbelievably well. Let me get this over with because otherwise the whole show is in the toilet. Not,
hey, no.
So I turn around and your eyes met me for a second. I went, oh my God, we're still on the runway. We're still on the runway. And I went, and you looked at me and you gave me this look like it was it was almost like subtitles. You're a funny guy. You've done my show, but if you look at me again, you're a dead man.
Mr. Warmth, huh?
No, and I mean that affectionately.
Sure.
No, you meant well, but I said, you're Johnny Carson. You don't want to have some young, well, I'm not young anymore, quite frankly. But I mean, you don't want some comic staring at you or, you know, bringing up things like, gee, I understand Don Adams dresses like a pilgrim on Passover. You know, I don't want to bring those things up to you on the plane, you know what I mean? So I tried to avoid your glance for 7 hours, and it was a nightmare. And it broke my relationship up mid-flight. Because I would look at you, I was eating brunch, and I saw your eyes looking at me, and I literally ate my food like the Elephant Man. It was like unbelievable. So, anyway, so it's a pleasure to be sitting next to you.
Finally, you're here.
Yeah, but now in front of so many people. I don't know why I even told that story. Yeah. But it's a pleasure. But I'm going back to Englewood.
Yeah.
I was raised there. I know, it was a silly
You're going a long way around. What the hell?
I know. Well, you know.
You're entitled.
Well, I've been in therapy for 17 years.
That's what I hear. How's it going, by the way?
Well, you know, Johnny, I don't know.
Family problems or women problems or what?
No, the family is real. My mother, and I love her very much. I've talked about her a lot, and she's a wonderful lady. And in fact, she just did she's like an amateur actress. She played, you know, Torch Song Trilogy, that film that came out. Sure. But they did it at the local Jewish community center. They didn't want to be very controversial, so they did Torch Song. Right. But they took the homosexual theme out of the play.
Oh, really?
So they made the lead character some like third base coach hitting fungos to Willie Mays. It was a sad
little something. But...
Yeah, it was sad. But she calls me backstage. I said, "How can you call me at the Tonight Show?" You know, because she has this. She's very negative. Yeah. My family's negative, and she calls me and she's. Here's the thing. She says to me, well, she always when I'm on the road she faxes me like bad news from the family. And
letters won't do. Comes directly by fax.
You know, just before I go on stage, like, you know, wherever I am, she goes, you know, Uncle Abe has a cyst on his neck. Thank you, Mom. Thank you very much. But here's the thing. When I was struggling, and, you know, who knows? I mean, show business is tough, you know? And she supported me, and she paid my my Blue Cross and all that stuff. But, you know, what happened was she would call me now, and she's as generous as she was when I started out.
Right.
She's so cheap on the opposite. Some people are generous and then cheap in certain areas.
Right.
And I guess I am too. But the thing is, she's cheap with telephones. So like if I'm in so tonight, she calls me, and rather than say, you know, break a leg with Johnny, she can't even spend $1, even though she gave me thousands of dollars growing up.
Right.
She has the operator. It's so humiliating. She has the operator say, I have a person-to-person call from the Eagle has landed. Like this psychotic code, you know? So Passover, I know this is a happy holiday to anybody who's celebrating it, and they're sending me a videotape of the Seder, and
so you can enjoy that at least.
Yeah, I heard. I was in Vegas about 6 months ago performing, and some wacko said that he was, you know, they had these gift shops, and I'm very gullible. The guy said he was inventing a hologram for people who didn't want to be with their families during holidays. So, I swear to God, Johnny.
You didn't get the hologram.
It was $5,000, and I didn't buy it. It's a lot of money. I'd rather give it to Comic Relief, quite frankly. But, more than quite frankly. But anyway, he said that I could put this screen at my family's Seder, and they think I'm there because they can reach in, and yet I'm like in Maui, you know, on a hammock somewhere. You know,
that's right. Not a bad idea.
But I just saw them. Yeah. I went to this... Well, here's the thing. I'm talking about family. I'm sorry for obsessing on this. No. She just called me, so I'm thinking about it. Here's why I feel so... you're mocking me, I know.
No, I'm not. I had the same problem. I had the same problem with my mother. I understand that.
No,
oh, yes.
Oh, Johnny, would you really?
Yeah. They always have that identification. My mother would actually call me a couple of times a week and say, "What have you been doing lately?" And I said, "Mom, I'm on every night." You know, she just didn't bug me.
The same thing, right?
Same
so
thing.
I said, I'm on the Tonight Show with Johnny.
Right.
She says, who else is on?
Negative. That's negative. Negative.
Is that crazy?
It's always, you got to control, yes. Control.
It's not
Control.
fair.
I got to do this, and
Oh,
we'll
you
come back.
do?
And, yeah,
Oh, great.
tell your mother just stand by. We'll be right back. Stay where you are. Okay. We're talking with Richard Lewis. Now, did your mother ask you this question? Has your mother said yet, Richard, you're what, 40 now?
Well, I'm in that area.
All right,
yeah.
you're in that area. How come you haven't met a nice girl and settled down?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm
Yeah.
never going to be, you know, it's never going to be Robert Young, Jane Wyatt time for me.
I understand that.
You know? Because I'll be like one of those, if I ever get married and then let's say my wife wants to have a career, I'll be like 56, I'll be like 111 when my kid's like on the All-Star team, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm already putting pressure on my kid. I don't even have a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm putting him on the All-Star team.
You're not even married yet.
No, that's my problem. That's
Yeah.
my problem. But I'm not sure.
Were you close with that third person or the third party?
No, you know, Johnny, I'll
Yeah.
tell you something. I don't know if you can relate to this. Well, I don't mean to.
Well, try me.
Well, you know, this should, you know, I'm 42. I've said it. Who
Okay,
cares?
all
As long
right.
as that- But in relationship years, I'm about 111,000,
Right.
quite frankly. Every ring under my eyes, like Ruth,
Yeah.
Janice, you know, it's like you're right. Yeah.
Count the rings, right?
Oh, count that ring. So, you know, it's been a nightmare. You know that. I've spoken to you from my
Sure.
therapy session. You know that,
Many
right?
times before.
Yeah, it's been, you know, this should be mistake warnings. If you're with the wrong man or woman, I've been with, and I'm no gift.
Yeah.
I'm a wacko, and yet I've been with wackettes. I've been with wackettes. I mean, my last girlfriend about a year ago, she only would make love if she had a raven on her shoulder. Isn't that bad, right?
Well,
I mean, come on.
everybody has a little
And I'm
peccadillos.
not-
Yeah.
Well, you're right. And
Of
I'm
course.
not, you know, and I feel, you know, like a lot of men, I have a fear of intimacy. I'm afraid to get close. When I make love, the best I can do is, I love you, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, how close can you get?
No commitment. You see, you don't want to commit. You don't want to
But
commit.
this woman was so demanding sexually. I mean, you know, I said, you know, can I satisfy you? She says, 2 wrongs don't make a right. She goes, I want to do it at the same time. And I went, oh my God. And finally it happened, Johnny. And it was like, and I hired the neighbors to do a wave across the street from the window.
Good move.
Yeah, and then I did high fives afterwards. And it took away from the romance.
Of course it
You know,
did.
and the victory lap around there. Come on. But I don't know. There's so many problems with women. And my mother, she just wants me to be healthy, although she's so negative. And, you know, I've learned a lot from her. But I feel good about, you know, the last year and a half, I've been with Jamie Lee Curtis. And
How's that show going well? Huh?
Yeah, it's going really well. And I pray it comes back because I love the cast and I love doing the show.
You see, they love it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was almost like... it was almost like Gandhi going, please. I don't, you know, I was, but thank you. Very sweet order.
It just means we're leaving for a second.
That's it?
That's what just about.
I guess I can go to the bathroom.
Hey,
now,
no,
right?
you stay here. Stay where you are. We'll be right back.
Richard Lewis is with us. This is a special segment. We've never done this before. Just for YouTube, we're going to do this. But
I can't wait.
I can't. I couldn't. I have a million things to ask you about. You, of course, everybody knows you were like a kid with Larry David. You guys went to camp
We were
together.
born in the same hospital room 3 days apart. Then he whipped me with his mother's umbilical cord.
Very rude.
Well, he never liked me. We have a love-hate relationship.
You do? Do you really? I see on the show what your relationship is.
And I come. Look, we fight all the time because I have to share everything that's on my. That's what I do because look, I had a good family, but they were in their own world. So I need like people and strangers to know who I am. Larry, you can't get one personal thing. You need to be a coal miner to go down there and figure something out. So he gets upset when I talk about personal things.
He does.
Yeah,
about your own personal experiences.
Here's Larry David. People always say, is he really that eccentric? Yes, he's a genius. To me, he's like the Norman Lear of this generation. He's an amazing writer and a great performer.
Yeah.
However, so And I owe him a lot. I owe him a lot. He, 2000, he came over. You want to play yourself? I went, yes. But, so here's what happened. I take him out to dinner. This is about a year ago, and he loves the Yankees. So I buy him Mickey Mantle cufflinks, a very important 8x10 picture of the Yankees when they won one of the World Series, and we meet at a restaurant. I write him a letter how much he meant to me. I put the things down there, and I come back, and we're only there for 5 minutes. And I swear to God, he does this. Gotta go. He gets up, leaves the gifts. I say, where are you going? He says, my meter is running out in the car. My meter is running. And not to make it worse, when he called me, he says, you want to have dinner? He's nuts.
Yeah.
And he said, what time do you want to have dinner? He says, 4:42 p.m. I said, 4:42? I just had a hero sandwich. He says, all right. Then we're on the phone for an hour. 5:18. He's like an airport controller. 6:11. 7:12. So then I go to the restaurant, because, he has bread. I mean, I'm not broke, but I have bread. I could treat him.
Yeah, right.
So I go to the restaurant, some highfalutin place in Beverly Hills, and I get there an hour early. We're supposed to have dinner at 6:01. I get there at 5:01. I tell the maitre d', here's my credit card. I'm treating Mr. David. Okay? He says, oh, no, he'll kill us. You can't. What do you mean? Look, I'm not chopped liver. I've been doing this for 50 years. I just dribbled. Could you see it?
I did, yeah, I did. Yeah. It's gone now, so
yeah, but
don't
it's
worry.
Is it on YouTube Red or on YouTube Dribble?
It'll be on both.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's 70. You never know what's going to happen. I don't call my answer machine. How are you going to play poker? I can't. My tongue fell out, and
Do you really still have an answering machine?
No.
No, okay, yeah.
No, and I don't call anybody before a show.
Never.
I never call any. Forget the Larry David show. I love him, and that's. But when you get older, crap happens. Like this morning, I tried to go to bed and I couldn't sleep, and I counted sheep, but I only had 6 of them, and they all had hip replacements. So they were banging into the fence. And my wife says, what's wrong? And I said, well, my sheep are dying. And it's just unbearable.
She's a lucky lady. She really is.
No, she loves me.
I mean, I'm sure she does love you.
No, she has no... But you know what's happening?
Yeah.
I'm calmer now. I know it doesn't seem that way, but I was a basket case. And when I got sober, I got calmer and calmer. Now she's morphed into me. She's a basket case now. And I can't take it anymore.
Oh, so now she's actually too neurotic for you.
She's me now. She's Mrs. Richard Lewis, but now she's more nuts than I am.
Oh, that's no good.
And I can't take it. And we have a dog. I finally had a dog. I love dogs so much. I never had a dog. I got one at 60 years of age. If the dog was 5'9" in heels, my marriage would be in trouble. The dog never argues. I say, you want to watch a Truffaut movie? You want to watch a Kubrick movie? He goes, yeah. And I'm like her drug dealer. I love feeding her. When my wife leaves, she's 12.5 pounds. When she comes home, she's 118 pounds.
You give the dog people food?
Because I don't do drugs anymore, so I'm like her drug dealer. And I like to give her, I know how she feels. I give her the food, and she eats it, and she goes, more again. It's never enough. She's a drug addict.
Yeah, they will go until they explode.
She's a treat addict, okay?
Do you take your dog on the road when you go on the road?
No, it's no good. But here's the thing that I thought I was, pardon me, a hip guy. I've been hip, I'm a hipster.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm a hipster. All I know is now that I have a dog, I'm a child. I'm like rude. I'm like I'm a fool. I'm a baby.
Turn into one of those people.
Yeah. Now here's what I do. This happened before I came to the show. My wife says, walk the dog and feed her. Then before she left for a business meeting, and she says, how did it go? I never thought in my whole life I'd say 4 poops and a pee. 4 poops and a pee? What the hell happened to me? Jack Kerouac is dead. What happened? And then and then she says, did you see it come out? She says, yes. I said, but one's still there. And she said, well, take it out. I go, I'm not touching that. So I put on gloves like Frankenstein, and I do it. And then she kisses me. I love her. I'm going to marry. Is it bestiality?
Yeah, it is. It's illegal. You can't do it. You can't marry a dog. Not if that ever happens, though, California will be the first state to allow it. So, Richard, You mentioned Jack Kerouac.
That wasn't a fake laugh, by the way.
Thank you.
You ever see when people come on your show and they want to be like on YouTube? You know,
yeah.
because I used to have a lot of anxiety. I still do.
Yeah.
And I don't have. Thank you very much. I don't have that poor disease that people have. But when I used to go out on dates, I would be so panicked that it wouldn't work out, that I would have all this pent up anxiety.
Right.
So I would try to get it all out right before she would see me do it. So let's say you were my date.
Okay.
I'd say, oh my God, look at that couple. Then I go, hey, but woo, yeah. And then she'd turn around, she didn't see that. Then I would be like a great lover after that, because I got the crazy crap out of the way.
You had to be in her presence to do it.
Does this discussion have any bearing on the English language?
I think it all has a bearing on the English language.
But this is going to be on YouTube, and what's in Sweden?
No,
by the way,
every country
I know
in the
you
world.
got to end soon, but you had this terrific actor from Sweden 2 nights ago.
Oh, the kid who's in It, yeah.
He's doing It. So I had a breakup with a woman when it first came out. I won't mention her name. I'd love to, but she'll be angry.
Okay.
And we broke up because we saw It, and I freaked out. And every night I'd wake up because I had these nightmares, and I'd go, wake up. She'd go, what's wrong? I go, there's a pronoun in the basement. All right, I've had enough of this.
Richard Lewis, everybody. Richard, you're on tour right now. Where can people have the opportunity to see you live and in person? You don't want to...
I'm with Artie Lang in Cocoa Beach, and then I'm in Caroline's, and then I'm in Philly, and then I'm in Chicago. I'm playing the Roxy here in L.A. in December. That would be cool.
I would love to come to that.
I haven't done a gig in L.A. in 10 years.
Well, that would be great. At the Roxy, too.
Yeah, with Todd Snyder, who's one of the most brilliant singers from Nashville. So anyway, who cares? Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Richard Lewis. Well, we won't be right back. We're on YouTube. Watch the next video, I guess. Do you love clicking buttons and subscribing to things? Then click the button to subscribe to my channel, and you'll finally be happy.